Assalamu alaikum all. Today I am going to be talking about language learning with gaps in the day. Now, my main reason for not learning a language or picking up a language was I always thought I just didn't have time. I thought that language just needs a lot of time. You need to find a lot of time in your day. And really, I think one of the things that I've realized now that language learning, a lot of people think is very difficult. They're not able to learn the language, they've never been able to language. I think the main reason for that is because of the techniques they've been using and also finding time. Now today I'm going to be talking about how I've been finding time with just little gaps throughout the day, and it's been really good. It's been like amazing way just to kind of fit little bits of language learning. And I'm busy, I've got a family, I've got work and stuff like that. Well, I always come up with the excuse that I'm busy. I have a child with special needs as well, so there's a lot of commitments and stuff like that, but still, to be honest with you, I'm not making the most of my time, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So hello friends, on this channel I share my journey learning a language as a Muslim and share the best tips that I find. Now, one of the main reasons for not learning a language, as I said earlier, was time. Working, kids, wife, I have a child with special needs as well, so there's a lot of commitment there. Now, one of the things that I've learned a lot is that language learning is very much intertwined with building good habits. You need to build good habits in order to learn languages. When I say habits, I don't mean spending 2-3 hours a day, but just trying to keep it really easy and simple. And I think that's been a really key thing for me. Now, I've scheduled time, an hour here, a couple of hours here in the evening, but I still don't get around to doing it. If something comes up in the evening, I'm coming back home late from work, there's been like a delay on the tube in London, or I've had an issue in the house that I've had to sort out. Like, we had another issue with some electricity problem, and I had to figure out what's going on. We had a dodgy device. And also my kids, sometimes I need to take them somewhere after school as well. I come back, things get all kind of caught up. We have to just sort some things out. There's some forms, and then sometimes I just end up with not doing language learning at all. And then I came across this idea of just looking for gaps throughout the day. So, I might be taking a break here, or a little break here, or a few minutes here. I just think about trying to fit little bits of language learning into those gaps. Now, this came up from a podcast I saw from Ali Abdaal with someone called Matthew Dix, and he wrote this book called Storyworthy. I'll make sure I'll have a link below in the description. And one of the things that really stood out, and I'm really glad they spoke about this in the podcast, was there was someone that was late for 7 minutes for a meeting he had with someone, and this person was an aspiring writer. So Matthew Dix has a lot of meetings with writers and tries to sort of help them out. And basically, when he was speaking to this writer, and this is a common thing that he's found, is that many of them had not even started writing yet. They would all say they don't have time, they were busy, they got a full-time job and things like that. And he said to her, well, hang on, you're 7 minutes late. Instead of being 7 minutes late, you could have wrote during that time. So it's all about using those gaps as little gaps throughout the day. And you may be thinking, as I sort of did, okay, well, how much can you really get done in these little gaps? But the key thing is that to be a writer, you have to write. You can't wait around. You need to keep writing. And when we talk about the importance of these gaps and how they can build up, Matthew Dix wrote whole books in gaps throughout the day, gaps in the meetings and things like that. He's like a teacher. Whenever he had minutes between meetings, he would just write a little bit. And he just wrote a whole bunch of books, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. This person managed to build up this whole kind of repertoire of books that he's written. So which means I can definitely use these times and be productive and just kind of learn little bits of language learning. And this was quite mind-blowing and a big kind of eye-opener for me. And one of the things they spoke about in the podcast, and this is, I'm sure a lot of people kind of know, but it's really good to kind of vision this, is to not wait for the perfect time and place. So, a lot of people when they're writing, and very big similarities between language learning and writing, is that people that are writing think, okay, I need to sit at a nice desk, a nice coffee shop maybe. It's all kind of wood. There's bookcases in the background. I got my nice Starbucks coffee. And you have this whole kind of image of, it needs to be this perfect scene. And that is not the case at all. If anything, that ends up a way of sort of procrastinating and stopping you from doing anything. And then before you know it, you never find that time and nothing ever happens. That's definitely what's happened to me. And I thought, let me schedule 2 hours a day of language learning and things like that, and it just was not happening. So what I'm trying to do now is if I've got a few minutes between meetings at work, I might just watch a quick YouTube video, just pick up my French book. So I've got this book Assimil that I've been using. I'll just do one line, There's YouTube channels I watch, Florian on Air. There's another one called Easy French, which is really good. You know, I just kind of just do a little bit here, like, doesn't have to be long, maybe a couple of minutes, that's it. Also, if I'm taking a break from work, so, you know, I've been on the computer, I just want a break, just want to change my brain, I might just again do the same thing. But usually I try, if I'm having a break, try and keep it fun, just a quick little YouTube video, something about France, some people talking French, whatever it is, could be anything. Yeah. And, you know, it's not about finding the perfect thing, it's just about doing something. And also, like, you know, if I'm having a break, I don't have to always do French. Now, some days my brain's a bit fried. I just need a break. You know, I don't even want to language learn at that point, and that is fine as well. The key thing is I want to always, this is the thing I need to always keep in the top of my mind, is I want to reduce anxiety and stress, because I want to stick to the language. If you increase anxiety and stress, I'm more likely to give up on the language. I'm going to find it too hard. I'm not going to actually stick with it. So that's why it's very important to kind of do those things. And another key thing is just to start small and build the habit. So, you know, this thing kind of takes a bit of getting used to. Like, you know, I might just, okay, I've got these 2 meetings, let me just do it once today, and then the next day you might maybe do a little bit more. And yeah, it does take a little bit of a while just to kind of get into it. Even for me as well, I'm still kind of trying to get used to it and trying to do it and trying to fit it in and things. So yeah, it's definitely something that can be done, and, you know, I'm hoping help me kind of stick with the language. But also another good thing is like just the positive feedback you get, you know, because it feels great to fit in some language learning, even if it's a little bit here or there. Like, you know, if you do it over a bunch of 1, 2, 3 days, it really does add up. And yeah, it just feels great. You know, you feel like, wow, I'm learning a language. And that's one of the reasons why I'm learning language, is that it just feels amazing. It's just a really great feeling. And also, I know that if I haven't done anything else for the day, at least I've squeezed in a few minutes throughout the day. So it makes me feel good. I'm building up my language learning, how much, you know, language learning that I'm doing, like even if it's just a few minutes here, that it's all about just doing little bits often and frequently, and just building up that chain every day, just trying to get a little bit of language learning in there. And then it goes back to the other thing, which is that progress is always, you know, better than perfection. I'm better off, like, you know, just doing a little bit each day, picking it up, making some progress in the language. So yeah, just want to say assalamu alaikum, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and feel free to drop any comments. Assalamu alaikum, bye.